In this video, we're going to look at how to deal with an integer expression, so an expression that has positive and negative numbers in it. Probably up to this point in your study, you've been dealing with only two integers and applying whatever operation, addition or subtraction, it was required. Now we're going to look at adding more numbers to that and how we deal with that. And in order to, this is actually lesson 1.7 if you're following the applied algebra curriculum. In order to deal with that, now we're getting into the order of operations. This is something that I'm sure you've been exposed to. We're only going to be looking at the last part of this. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally's how I remember it. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. The reason I've underlined addition and subtraction and they're both in red is because when we deal with addition and subtraction, we do it in the same step. We do it in the order that it appears as we look at our expression from left to right. A common mistake students make is just because addition is the first letter here, they want to add first, which would bring them over to the 7 plus 6, which in this situation would cause us to make a mistake. But the order of operations really, we say that we want to do all addition and subtraction in the order it appears as we read from left to right. So the first thing we're going to do here is the subtraction, the 5 minus 7. And actually, if we change that, which I think you've been taught to do, 5 plus negative 7 is the same as minus 7. Now it's addition anyway, although it's really subtraction. I know that's kind of confusing, but they're one and the same. And really, they're the same power of operator, which is why we do them at the same time. And there's no magic to the order of operations. You just have to remember it. It's a system that was developed a long time ago that allows for us to be accurate when we communicate numbers. So it allows us to it allows one mathematician to write an expression like this and another one to come behind and evaluate it exactly the way it was intended, and we both end up with the same answer. Without the order, we could evaluate the same expression and get, in some cases, several different answers. But let's go ahead and go through this. So order of operations, addition, subtraction, left to right. So we're going to start with 5 plus a negative 7. Following our rules, we know we find the difference, which is 2. 7 is the more powerful number, so it's a negative 2. Bring everything else down. Be careful when you do this in these long expressions. It's easy to make mistakes when you drop stuff down, but I do recommend going vertically like this, step by step. Negative 2 plus 6, we know since they're opposite signs, we find the difference between 2 and 6, which is 4. 6 is more powerful, so it becomes a positive 4. We don't have to write positives. I'm sure you know that by now. So our answer then becomes 4. That's a relatively easy one. Let's do a couple of more examples. If you're comfortable with this and you know you can handle it, then shut the video off and get to practicing by all means. Don't let me waste your time. But if you'd like to see a couple more examples, stay with me. Because as always is the case in math, they get more complex. Only thing that there is to do here is addition and subtraction. I see a little anomaly that I learned what to do with. When I have two negatives written side by side, it's a change in a change, so I end up going positive. So I can just write that as a positive. Now I can start adding or subtracting in the order they appear from left to right. So negative 4 plus 3 is where I'm going to start. Their signs are different, so I take the difference, which is 1. 4 is the more powerful number, the larger magnitude. So it's negative 1 plus 7 minus 5. Be careful not to skip steps in this continuum because you'll make mistakes. Negative 1 plus 7 now. Different signs, so take the difference. 7 is the more powerful one, so I leave a positive, minus 5. Now I can see this is 6 minus 5, which we know is 1. I can also rewrite as 6 plus a negative 5, still going to be 1. The difference of the two is 1. 6 is the more powerful, so it's positive 1. One more example. Bigger numbers. When we practice, and my philosophy is when you practice, you start with small numbers so you're not weighed down by having to deal with large numbers while you learn rules and learn how to apply them. Then you bring in bigger numbers, which are a little weightier, a little harder to deal with. These aren't too bad, but you'll eventually get to numbers that are so big you need to pull out a calculator. And when you get to that point, you need to really know what you're doing fluently so that when you pull the calculator over, it doesn't distract you enough that you forget where you were at. So, left to right, I'm going to go ahead and take care of this anomaly right now because I know exactly what to do with that. It's fairly easy. I'm going to change this to plus and minus. You don't have to do that if you see clearly what to do. I prefer that. Then I'm going to start adding and subtracting in the order that they appear, left to right. 12 plus a negative 18. Signs are opposite, so I take the difference, which is 6. 18 minus 12 is 6. 18 is more powerful, so it's negative 6. Write everything else down. Be careful again when you do this. Now I deal with the next two, left to right again, negative 6 plus 7. Now the difference is 1. 7 is more powerful, so it's positive 1 plus 5. 1 plus 5, we've always known for a very long time, is 6. So 1 plus 5 is 6. Now, just to drive this point home, I want to bring back up that first example, 5 minus 7 plus 6. And we got, our answer that we got was negative 2 plus 6. We got an answer of 4 on that one. Hopefully that's what we got. Let me show you what happens if you go out of order on this. So we're supposed to do it in the order it appears from left to right. So 5 plus a negative 7 or 5 minus 7. But say we got distracted by this addition, which is a common misconception or mistake that students make. And I do the 7 plus 6 first. Look at the difference it makes. 5 minus 7 plus 6 is 13. 5 plus a negative 13 is negative 8. That's quite a bit off of 4. That's why following the order matters, because we need to it's really just a matter of communicating. It's like sentence structure, and when we don't follow it, we make mistakes on simple problems like this. So you have to get used to following that order.